Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Mod with you again, and today I'm gonna continue showcasing the Radious mod. It's gonna be part 4, and today we're gonna be viewing the new units for Slanesh. I believe it's gonna be more than 20 units. Some of these units filling the gaps that Slanesh was missing. I'm just gonna repeat myself that in order for this mod to work, you need 4 parts to it, so make sure you subscribe to all 4 parts and activate them in your mod manager. So far, the Radious mod covers all the available factions for Warhammer 3. And while we wait for the Immortal Empires, why not to test these new units for Slanesh, maybe start a new campaign and see if you guys gonna like them. And I'm not gonna waste any more of your time. Let's go see the units. Starting out with the melee infantry units, as always. You have Marauders of Slanesh. New variants, this one has a great weapons. Nice stats for a tier 1 unit. Also it has armor piercing and have immune psychology. Can be used as a meat shield. And this is the another version of the Marauders of Slanesh, which uses dual weapons. This is your anti-infantry version. As all the Marauders of Slanesh, it has the immunity for psychology and a small bonus versus infantry. With this mod, we also got the new variants of Slanash's infantry units. This is called Servants of Slanesh. This one has shields. We got silver shields, discourage ability for their melee attacks, bonus versus infantry. Also, all versions of this unit has a vanguard deployment, strider, immune to psychology, and the 5% physical resistance. Here's the javelin version of this unit. Can be used against large foes. Because of this mod, Slanesh get at least a couple of new ranged units, including this one. As all the Servants of Slanesh units, we got the ability discouraged for its melee and range attacks. Cool looking Marauders unit for the Slanesh. And their anti-infantry version, which uses dual weapons. Basically dual access, which makes them armor piercing. They have all the same abilities as other versions of this unit and discourage for their melee attacks. And now we're looking at anti-large version of this unit, which uses spears. Because it's anti-large, they got bonus charge reflection ability and charge defense against large enemies. All these units can be used as a meat shield. Here's the mounted Servants of Slanesh, basically their cavalry version, which can use their javelins as a throwing weapon, which also is armor piercing and discourages enemy minions. As we can see here, they're getting sniped by an enemy lord, so make sure just use them against ranged units or artillery pieces. Now we're getting closer to the powerhouse of the Slanesh's new roster. These are the Chaos Warriors of Slanesh with shields. Not your typical Slanesh unit, because I know Slanesh doesn't really like to use armor, but this one got pretty decent armor with silver shields. For its melee, it got the blinded ability and got bonus versus infantry. It comes with the perfect vigor, immune to psychology, and the rowdy ability, which increases their leadership by 5. And this is their anti-large version, who using Halbert. Basically all the same abilities as Chaos Warriors of Slanesh have. This one has the bonus versus large and armor piercing. And we got to the variant which deals lots of damage, because they're using great weapons, basically huge axes. Like all units in this game who's using axes, their melee attacks are armor piercing. All the same abilities as Chaos Warriors of Slanesh have, but really cool looking units in a shining armor. And here we got the new variants of the heavy infantry for Slanesh, called Aspiring Champions of Slanesh. 3 versions of this unit, the first one using shields. Really cool looking skins, I feel it looks unique. For their melee attacks, they got discouraged ability. They have bonus versus infantry. For their passive ability, this unit can cause fear. Has the ability Soul Hunters. Basically increases their damage resistance, leadership and charge bonus based on how many kills they do. They're immune to psychology, and they got expert charge defense. That's their second version with Halberts, your anti-large version. The Radious mod gave them a really cool looking Halbert, enchanted with discouraged ability. and basically they all got the same abilities as all aspiring champions of Slanesh units. I'm gonna show you the third version with great weapons, really badass looking units. They're armor piercing and very heavy. As of the Warhammer's lore, Beastman was serving the Chaos Gods, and here we got two new units, Slangors. This one with Halbert. This is the anti-large version of this unit. They got two resistances for spell and missile. They got the ability Primal Fury, immune to psychology. They encourage other friendly units. Got the ability Charms for their melee attacks, also their armor piercing, and have really high stats. Their second version is basically your Javelin Infantry. They're using javelins to throw at the enemies, which is armor piercing and has the bonus versus large. Also for their melee and range attacks, they have a blinded ability. All the same resistances and abilities as the previous version of this unit. It will do very well at close range and also in melee, whatever you guys gonna decide to do with these guys. And now we got the heaviest melee infantry that this mod has to offer for the Slanesh faction, called Chosen of Slanash. This one with Halberts, anti-large unit, which can cause fear, has two resistances, has the ability Harvest of Souls. Looks like it's an amazing ability, which replenishes their hit points whenever enemies getting killed within 30 meters. They have immune to psychology, and they're also encouraging other friendly units. It has magical attacks with the ability Charmed, armor piercing, and nice bonus versus large. Now we have their versions with shields. This one is gonna do better against melee infantry. You got the same magical attacks with the same charmed ability. Have bonus versus infantry and the same abilities as Chosen of Slanash have. And for the last heavy infantry unit this mod has to offer, we have the Chosen of Slanash with great swords. I think it's very unique unit because other great weapons units of this faction using only axes. This one comes with a huge swords, which I guess will make them to be better against enemies infantry. They also armor piercing, magical attacks, charmed ability, and all other abilities as Chosen of Slanash have. And now we got the Dragon's Ogres of Slanash. I know that none of the Chaos faction in Warhammer 3 have this unit. We're just gonna wait until the Immortal Empires show up, but with the Radious mod you can actually use this unit for the Slanesh faction. That's a really nice unit that you could use in Warhammer 2 against enemies' cavalry units. It will just shred them to pieces. This version has magical attacks, Thunder Armor ability, it's also armor piercing, causes fear, has two resistances, has the ability Fasting and Fear, immune to psychology, and can be used as a siege attacker. And since we went all the way to the cavalry units, why not to continue with Riders of Slanesh, your tier 1 fast cavalry unit to catch enemies, archers or artilleries, or routing units. They got bonus versus infantry, can be used as a mid shield, and also they have immune to psychology. And now you guys looking at the Knights of Slanesh, this one with swords. As you guys can see, really nice animations with the purple fire underneath their horses. This is a very heavy cavalry for Slanesh faction. Has a really huge armor plus servo shield. It's gonna be really hard for the enemy to kill this unit. Also, they got the blinded ability for their melee attacks and bonus versus infantry. This unit causes fear, has their ability Rowdy, immune to psychology, and has perfect vigor. Their second version, Knights of Slanesh with Lances, that's your anti-large version of the same unit, but they have a much higher charge bonus that nobody will be able to withstand them. Two more units for the Slanash's faction, called Knights of Torment, this one with swords, that's your melee cavalry. They have really good stats that basically you can send them fight the enemy and you can forget about them. They're gonna do their job just fine. To do their job fine, they have magical attacks on their melee, charmed ability, bonus versus infantry, they're causing fear, have one resistance, has the ability Soul Send, which makes them even stronger whenever enemy units are wavering. They're immune to psychology and has the ability Strider. And for the last units, their second version of Knights of Torment with Lances. Just because of Lances, it makes them anti-large. Has a huge charge bonus, same abilities as the previous version of this unit. Magical attacks, charmed ability, and a nice bonus versus large. And there we go, guys. That was all the new units that's been added with Radious mod to the Slanesh faction. Whoever played the Slanesh faction, I'm sure you guys know that their roster was very petty, and now it's very big. Lots of new units that can be used as tanks. So right now you don't really need to worry that your army is gonna be shredded by the enemy's missile units, and you can still play aggressively as you need to play as a Slanesh. It was Mod Addict with you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want, you can let me know what you guys think of these new units at the comments below. Please like my video and subscribe for my channel if you didn't. And see you guys next time.